What's up, guys? Greg Chapman here with another edition of the Gentleman Gorilla Small Business Marketing Podcast. Today I'm joined by Ciara and Laurel of Venture Active Health and Fitness.
Hello, everybody.
Health and Wellness.
Fitness too, though.
All right. Can you two please tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Venture Active?
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll start.
Yeah.
My name, obviously, Ciara. I started Venture Active as a fitness adventure company, I'd say about 6 years ago, 7 years ago now. Oh my gosh, how old am I? Anyway, the idea was to get people up and out and moving.
Okay.
I was a gym trainer and I was not really enjoying it. I felt like it was kind of a stifled environment, just in that I was seeing people that were intimidated in there and they felt like they had to go to the gym and work out in order to come to the gym and work out. And so I was dealing with a lot of...
I know what you mean. Like very competitive lifters.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's difficult when you first start out and you get into this gym environment and there's these people that have been doing it for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and they just are looking phenomenal and they're doing everything correctly and you're staring at the directions on the machine and you just are like totally lost and don't know what to do. So anyway, I was their personal trainer and I started finding that like the more I got them outside, which is what I loved, the more they reacted positively, and they felt like they were kind of like surrounded by people that weren't judging them. And that's not to say that people are judged in a gym, but that's sometimes how people feel. It started because, really, really to back it up, I was on a hike in Colorado. I was doing my first 14er, and I was not prepared at all. I drove out to Colorado and started climbing this 14er, and I grossly underestimated.
And for people that don't know what a 14er is, because I
sorry.
wouldn't had I not known Ciara at this point, but
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
it's the elevation. It's anything over.
It's a mountain where the peak or the summit is over 14,000 feet,
Right.
which there are 42 of them in the state of Colorado.
Oh my gosh, high five!
And I have done 3 of them.
Yay!
Awesome.
Oh, we have to talk
That's great
after this to
information.
find
Yeah.
out all the ones you did.
There's people, they make posters, like they go on your board, and there's the whole map of Colorado, and there's like, literally check it off. Like
Yeah.
some of them are like some of the hardest hikes in the world that you can do.
Absolutely.
So, like a few of them. Most of them are like moderate, and then there's a few that like you could bring a 4-year-old on.
Yeah.
And they'll probably beat you, but
They'll
know.
definitely beat me.
like they're just trails.
I'm almost 40.
Or there's even a handful
Sorry.
where there's just roads to the top. Like you don't even hike them. You just drive to the top.
I got myself lost, so that first 14er, I was definitely not doing what I was supposed to be doing on the trail. But anyhow, I was huffing and puffing all the way up, and it was really, really, really difficult. And I kept like pushing through it and talking my way through it. And then I got to the top, and I realized like what that feeling was, what that felt like, and it was life changing. And I had just kind of like decided at that point that was what I wanted to do with my life, but I wasn't sure how to make that happen. And so it was kind of the beginning of it. And then this outdoor company started. And just kind of, it's been me bumbling through it and trying to figure it out until I met Laurel.
which now we bumble together and try to figure things out. Yeah, at the same time. We met at a yoga teacher training.
Oh, yeah. Yoga
Nice.
teacher training.
So yeah, we did our 200-hour certification together, and at that point, she and I realized that with a lot of other people in the actual training, she and I had the same mentality about a lot of the ways that we wanted to share health, wellness, and fitness with the rest of not only our community in San Diego, but everywhere in America and outside also.
Yeah.
With no intimidation, with no bullying, with no competition. She and I just had the same like mind frame about it, and have been figuring out since then. It's probably been about 3.5, maybe 4 years now.
Yeah.
I think we graduated in May 4 years ago. So,
Oh, my gosh.
yeah.
Wow.
We've been putting a lot of things in place, and it has developed into quite the amazing, I would say,
Unexpected.
unexpected, yeah, collage of kind of all of our belief system intertwined together. So
Yeah.
we're here and we're ready to share with everybody.
Yeah, it's really interesting. When I met her, so I met her at a very kind of pivotal point. I had realized that like it wasn't just going to be personal training, and it wasn't just going to be hiking or rock climbing. Like yoga was really essential, but I didn't know anything about yoga. Like I'd been to like 1 or 2 classes, and mostly I just took a nap. didn't participate.
know,
But
what
I
is
knew
that,
it was like good
the
for like.
Finish
the
Shavasana, yeah.
Shavasana?
It's
So I was like,
the
okay.
most important asana of the entire
You know
class.
what,
I still
after-
believe so.
After
yeah.
a hard yoga class, that is
It's
just like you
amazing.
get when you're in a hard yoga class and you're only like halfway through and you're just like, this class is really, I do want to say it sucks, but
You
'cause
think
it's
that
doing
halfway
good,
through,
but
absolutely.
you're like,
Oh, it was
ah.
like 3 minutes in, and I was like, I don't even know what you're doing. What is-
Negative thoughts about the
I was
instructor
like, what is
and
down
what you
dog?
wanna do.
And then I'm looking at my toes, and I'm like, I haven't like given myself a pedicure in 10 years, and I'm like, what am I wearing? What's the lady next to me doing? What's happening? Like, it was a
It's
whole
funny.
thing.
I didn't used to respect yoga back when I was still playing. Like I went on a date with a girl and we went to yoga, and the teacher kept being like, for those of you that might need like assistance, like there's a wall or there's blocks. Meanwhile, like I'm peak shape of my life and I'm pretty flexible
Right.
and I'm just like busting shit out. I'm like, yeah, okay, like yoga, this is dumb.
Yeah. Like, this isn't a workout, right?
Yeah,
That whole
like,
mentality. I get
and
it.
then, and then injuries happen, and then post, and then it's like yoga saved my life.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
fixed my body, brought me out of depression, because
Yeah.
like my physical body is so attached to my mental well-being that it's like when my body wasn't working, I wasn't working.
That's exactly the whole
And
point.
yoga
Yeah.
fixed all of
The
that.
same
Yeah.
as me. I prior to had a background in working out at the gym, and I had always done some sort of physical situation with myself. And one of my best friends, Janine, at the time, just said, you know what? I think you should come to a yoga class with me. And I was the same as you, Greg. I was like, that's for the birds. I didn't say birds. It was
I know what you said.
a worse term. It's not very nice, which I will never ever say in my life again.
But what is it?
It starts with a P. Yoga is for.
Oh, rhymes with vagina.
It doesn't rhyme with it, but it kind of means the same thing.
I get
Just-
it.
So I was like 3 inches away from taking a sip of hot coffee, and that would have been all over both of you.
This podcast's for adults, right?
Yeah, I thought I was a gym body. I thought I was a tough girl. You know what I mean? Going and doing the machines and working out and lifting weights at the same time. And so it was a Thanksgiving night, and she and I both, for some reason, didn't have plans, or she took me to my first class, and I said at that time, I'm going to commit myself to 1 year without going to a gym, only going to a yoga studio. And basically what I wanted to do was make myself tough from the inside out, rather than the opposite of being at a gym where you're physically strong on the outside, but there's a lot going on internally that you really need to deal with. And I mean, it was probably about 6 years after that until I actually set foot back into a gym situation. So it was just strictly yoga. I went to my first teacher training I was a little bit forced into it, I would say. Somebody kind of paid for it behind my back and said, here you go, you have to do this.
Was
and
it
I was
her?
like, no.
No, wait, you
it
two
was
met
before
after
I
yoga.
met. So this was my first certification. It was Yoga Sculpt, which is a little bit more of a physical yoga practice where you use hand weights and plyometrics and a lot of other body strength.
That sounds pleasantly exhausting.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
intense. So that was my first certification, and after the training I did a lot of like deep diving inside myself, or during, and then after realized a lot. And then I went to my paddleboard yoga certification training courses, which was awesome. So I started
I need to
working
try
with
that.
paddleboard fitness and paddleboard yoga. And then it was after that I decided to sign up for my 200-hour certification, which is the big one, basically. There are 300 and 400-hour classes that you can graduate up to and do complete those as well. But that's kind of like the one where if you go to a studio, everybody there is going to have that certification underneath their belts, you know. So at this point, I had acquired about 4 different certifications. Well, 3, almost 4 when I met Ciara, and we were both like, wow, like, she does the rock climbing, she does the hiking, she does the outdoor stuff, like, I, am working on doing the yoga stuff. I have the water stuff. Like, if we put all of these ideas together, how much could we really help each other as well as everyone around us, with these ideas of positivity and non-bullying and empowerment and being there and supporting each other in our community. And it was awesome.
Honestly, I was scared of her when I first met her. I was like,
which is not unusual. And
she's
I'm sorry.
like really, really, really good at what she does. I was so intimidated because I was like, walking into this complete unknown with all these people that I'd never
Which
met.
I think is way more brave than anything I have done, is that she's basically
Like,
never
I'm just gonna do this
gone
today.
to a yoga class, but she believed somewhere for some reason that she needed to provide this service to be a part of her company that she had already started building. So I gave her like huge mad props for that. Like,
Oh, thank you.
that to me was super intimidating to just walk into a training having never even practiced.
Yeah, it was definitely intimidating. I was intimidated through the whole yoga.
There were a lot of
yoga
tears.
school situation. Oh, I cried the whole time. I cried the entire time. I cried the whole time about, I don't even know what I was crying about. Like half the time I was like, I don't know.
It's
what
intense, and I recommend it for anybody, whether you
Yeah.
ever intend on teaching, but just as a life lesson, the yoga teacher trainings are a really, really good way
Deep
to get to know
dive.
yourself. Yeah.
Deep dive.
So 200 hours.
200 hours. I think it's
So,
like a 3.5
I mean,
month program.
200 hour of like panic attack for me because I was like, I'm gonna go back in there and they're gonna make me go over this. I don't know the words.
What is
so I didn't
what is
understand.
yoga school like? Like,
It definitely makes,
'cause
it's very intrinsic.
I'm sure it's very physical.
It is
on one
physical,
side.
but
Yeah, but no.
yeah,
It's more.
you have to be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Like, they ask questions that you never thought you would have to be so raw about, and travel back to why you think this certain way, and who were your influences in your life, and just situations that you never really thought you would have to. It's not like you're going to get a degree in science where everything is just laid out and you memorize certain facts. Like, this is something that is situational for each individual that joins the class, and you can take from it what you want. You can go as deep as you want, I think the statistic is like 20% of everybody that goes through the actual yoga teacher training actually end up teaching. But everybody walks out with a new understanding of who they are, and a new understanding of maybe who the person next to you is and why, and that their journey is their own, and the judgment factor of not being able to look at someone else and say, hey, I don't like what you do, but I want to understand where you're coming from and why, like, it's just, it's awesome.
That's definitely, it'll get you.
Yeah.
That
It's
sounds
emotional.
aggressive.
It's great.
Like
It's-
emotionally aggressive.
It's aggressive. But at the same time, Venture from day one was built from emotion, and so trying to understand emotion and trying to navigate through emotion, and even without realizing it, like that's why Venture started. Now, all these years later, I understand that that's what that was. So it's like going through yoga teacher training, or like becoming an adventure guide, or like rock climbing, or paddleboarding, like any of our things that we do, it's all it's all based on yourself and your emotion and your core. And so the idea is to work through whatever it is you're going through out in nature and with people that like are going to respect that you have your own journey and be there for you if you have a breakdown and cry. And we have had people who have had a lot of breakdowns, and it's great. We're like, that's awesome. Something came out like that you needed
that's
to.
a great segue too into like
Yeah.
what kind of gave us the idea to develop from the fitness and adventure company to a whole health and wellness company.
Yeah, because I was going to say, it seems like there's a lot more to what you do than just
Yeah, so Ciara has a
physical
friend
attributes.
that's she's been friends with the lady for a really long time. She's a psychiatrist, she's a doctor, and she's amazing. And she looked at our program and saw some way to pull us in and come work for her mental health and wellness facility. So we developed a program that coincided with therapeutic treatments. So recreational therapy is what we termed it, and we basically changed the whole entire facility around just by our ideas and our way of thinking, and bringing the clients out onto healthy journeys and adventures, and providing programs that were, rather than one-on-one intensive with a clinician or a therapist, bringing them out and doing life experiences with them. So it was that program that kind of
opened our eyes
to
the
how
power
much
of
the
it.
world needs it.
Yeah, I think I'd say as of late, like, okay, so I'll back up for a second. I'll say like what the reason. Okay, so that I've been a bartender in PB for like what 20. I'm coming up on 20 years now, which
Impressive.
I'm old. All of this kind of got going because I didn't realize it until now. Like now it's really in my face about why all this is happening. But I had I was living that like super bartender life, and I was like really involved in like all the extracurriculars and all the after hours activities.
Yep.
And I kind of like made that my identity, and I became that person. What I didn't realize is I was slowly chipping off these pieces of me that were valuable. because I was just putting myself in all these really terrible situations, and I was drinking and partying, and I wasn't respecting myself, and I wasn't making healthy choices, and it just kept going. And anyway, I kept living this like path until I got to the point where I got really, really depressed and anxiety ridden and super unhealthy. And I kind of looked around for like a support network, but the problem was like everybody was kind of living that life, so like I couldn't really talk about it. And so that's part of the reason I like kind of escaped everything and ran away and decided to go to school and look into this personal training thing and look into maybe starting a company one day, because I was really desperately searching for some sort of peace in my life, and I couldn't find it. I was Googling things and trying to find help, but it was like AA groups, and I didn't identify with that, and I just couldn't figure out what the right path was. But I did know that I felt good when I was outside on a hiking trail or rock climbing or, anything physical outside, breathing, was really becoming my like happy place. And I knew that I wasn't alone in this, that I have met a lot of people who were doing the same thing that I was doing. So when I went away and I went to school and I got my shit together, and then I came back, I had kind of rolled the dice to start this company and was like, I don't know how it's going to be received. People know me as a party girl. I'm trying to bring this health thing in. No one's going to listen to me. And I fought that for a long time. And a lot of people didn't listen. A lot of people were like, who does she think she is? Rightfully so, like I get it, but that's why I've been trying to live my life through example. But anyway,
it takes time to show people a side of you that you haven't shown them before. That
right.
You're like, I have been working behind the scenes, and then you have to be public with it for like, I don't know, 6 months, 9 months, a year, whatever.
3, 5, 10. It takes a long time for people to change their perception of you.
Such a long time.
A long, long time, and I got haters out of it, which I didn't expect. Now I'm thankful for them, they kind of fuel us.
It's because you were making them look at themselves when they didn't want to.
Yeah.
Like they were like, so when people build their identities around the identities of the other people in their lives. And so when you're in their life and then you completely change who you are, that totally rocks their foundation, even if it's just a little bit on like how the world works, because everyone is always fighting to, find their place in the world and understand their place in their community. And when someone changes their place in the community, that means that their place is different in the community.
Yeah, everything
And so
shifts.
a lot of people that really fucks with them, even if it's just a little bit,
Yeah.
because everyone is on a knife's edge all times with mental health. And
So it's so
That's true.
blatantly obvious to me now, but it wasn't back then. Like how on that knife's edge, how many people I know, and myself included, like lived in that realm. Like mental health is so important, and nobody talks about it, and nobody talks about the correlation between physical health and mental health. And so that's a huge component of venture. Like it's the main component, really, is like why this is all happening.
Yeah. And so I really think it's like 3, like physical, mental, and like your soul, spirit,
Absolutely,
your energy.
yeah.
But I feel like the taking it outside, because you can work out in a dark, dank basement. That's not going to help your mental,
Right.
space
You have
very
vitamin
much.
D, you need it.
Yeah.
Fresh air.
Fresh air.
But yeah, just being in nature, like it's crazy how effective it is being in nature, that you can just look at a photo of nature for 20 minutes and it has the same effect on your calm, right, your breathing rate, your heart rate, as actually being in nature. Like that's how powerful nature is. Like you just have to look at it, not even real nature, just a photo of nature, and it works.
Yeah.
So.
And it's the biggest, the hardest thing I think has been not only changing people's perspective of me originally coming in and doing that, but then after has been like the getting people out of that routine that they're in and getting them up and just get out the door. Like we would go pick you up.
Yeah,
absolutely. We have a 15-passenger van. We're like, we will come to your house.
You're a no excuses
Bang on your
troop.
door.
Right. We're like, we have a community of people that like, we're all going through it. So we might as well just all go through it together and have this support system. And so it was a couple years into us kind of figuring out like having a membership and people dropping in on the classes and like, going through like boot camps and rock climbing and paddleboarding and yoga and all these different things until we ran into Dr. Allison Brownlee,
Yep.
who is like what she was talking about, to kind of circle back. That was she's a friend of mine. So
Okay.
she ran this cutting edge facility at the time.
And this is the
a mental health
center that you started
Right.
working with.
So she called me up, and she called me up a year prior, and we just weren't ready. We knew we had something, but we were still putting all the pieces together.
I'm still glad we waited. Like,
Yeah.
we,
We waited. It was a good thing that we
it was a
waited.
good thing.
So when we did decide to like jump in and create this recreational program, it really kind of opened our eyes even more. So now we're working with people who are going through depression, anxiety,
Clinically, like
clinically. Yeah.
not people we go out and see at the bars every night, or
Yeah.
even at the library, wherever you want to see people,
Yeah.
at the coffee shop. These are actually
So
people
they
that
only
are
know you
they're,
through your
they're,
position.
it's a residential facility, and they are in there committed.
Yeah.
So
So we really had to put to test our
abilities.
abilities and our belief system in what we were doing. So
It was your test.
Yeah.
It was like, because there were people that didn't know you.
Mhm.
Like, so it was a cold case walking in. Like, here's our program. Like, are we full of shit or are we not?
yeah,
right.
no, they needed us. It was the most rewarding thing that we've
That's
definitely
good.
Oh,
together. I mean, we would leave. We definitely did a lot, but after every single activity, after every single interaction with them, we would both just like drive off or sit on the couch and look at each other, just bawl. Like,
cry. A lot of
Right.
crying.
This feels so good. Like, this is where we're supposed to be, and we're actually
Yeah.
doing this.
So
Like,
what was it
so
like
amazing.
when you started there versus near the end? Like when in your peak of before all of the transition started happening. So like the kind of what transformations did you see take place when you started being able to implement your programs there?
We saw huge changes in. Do you mean for us or for them? Because it was both. It was
For both,
It was
yeah.
circular. So for them, for the clients, I want to say, I don't want to. I mean, you can call them patients or clients. I don't think it
Or
really
changes
matters,
that
but
you observed then, to be
I personally witnessed a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of moments where they're going through the anxiety and they're on a rock wall, and I'm talking them through it and climbing, and they're coming down, and then they're shaking and they can't believe they've done it, or they're out on a paddleboard and they have never been on a paddleboard.
Seeing
and
them overcome their biggest insecurities
Yeah.
and what they defined as weaknesses for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
for us to get them through these situations, and then afterwards get to hear them talk about it, was just absolutely phenomenal.
What kind of programs were they having them do before you showed up?
Not much.
Like-
From what I've been told, there wasn't a whole lot to
Unfortunately.
it. Yeah.
So like just
They're going to like,
pills and
Yeah.
psychology sessions,
yeah. Yeah.
and then go to sit in their room alone the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
So literally just taking them outside
Mm-hmm.
was giving them a new lease on life.
Yeah. And then that's when we started really realizing even more so the value of what we were doing. And it sort of kind of just started building from there. And like I was saying, in the past like 3 weeks to a month, everything has just exploded. We started our corporate wellness program, and we started really putting forth all the effort into our healing retreats. We've always done adventures, but then we were like, let's do healing retreats. So we realized we had something that we could do, that we could help people. And
We have the
didn't-
people in place. We have a
Yeah.
recreational program. We have therapists. We have doctors, psychiatrists. Like, we have now contractors that can come in and provide all types of services for us to be able to put on these healing retreats. So that's
And
another branch that our business is heading towards, I would say, in a massive way.
Yeah, these retreats are kind of for me right now, I feel like I'm finally walking my true path, which is these healing retreats. It was a big wake up moment for me to realize I was exactly where I was supposed to be in the exact right time, which I don't know if that happens to people in their lifetime, very often.
I've been hearing it a lot more since starting these interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Is people, because basically everyone that is on this little podcast with me is recently started a business.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very much a recent thing that I think a lot of people are experiencing. They're like, and it's weird being able to look back and piece back the pieces and be like, if this fucked up shit didn't happen 3 years ago,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have altered our direction to whatever, and we would have never been here to where it finally makes sense.
Absolutely.
Creepily true.
It's never been more apparent to me than, so I'd say last Thursday, we had a big fundraiser for, we're doing a healing retreat for domestic violence survivors. It's a 3-day retreat. We bring in our team. We work with No Silence, No Violence, which is a 501c3, local 501c3. And we sponsor women who have survived these terrible situations. And it's 3 days of intensive recreational therapy, clinical therapy, group therapy, and skill building, how to write a resume, how to go back into the world and start dating. What does that look like? Like just all these things. And we're giving them the tools to kind of use that to carry on after the retreat. So it's kind of like a crash course on how to do all these things. But anyway, in this process, I had an aha moment, and I just started bawling because I realized that all the things I'd gone through in my childhood, all those fucked up moments, as you say, like all those like shitty things that happened, that I like buried in all the alcohol and partying that I was doing in that one segment of my life, all the things that I hadn't really dealt with, but I've been open about, but still like didn't really, it all made sense for the first time. Why I had walked that path, why those things happened to me, why I had gotten through them, why I was drinking, partying, why I started this company, why I've met the people that I've met, like why everything has happened. It's because now I can walk into a room full of survivors of any sort of situation and say, look, I'm authentically here because I know that things can get better. And I am honest and I'm real and I've been through A, B, C, D, and I'm here to be a safe place for you and tell you it's okay to talk to me about whatever it is. And I think that people realize, like, because I've been through it and I'm open to being vulnerable about it, like they can too. You can give someone the power of their own voice by giving them your voice, and sharing your story. So then they can open back up. And so it's like, once I realized that the other night, I literally just I left the event and I just started crying because I was so happy. Like we really can make a difference. And it might be one group at a time. It might be domestic violence survivors this coming retreat. And then after that, vets going through PTSD. We're doing one for them. We're doing sexual abuse survivors retreats. We're doing things that can help one community of people at a time and just kind of give them a voice to heal and give them that space to heal. And I think we really kind of found out what our niche was. And so we're just trying to help one person at a time, hopefully, by being open and real.
I think that sounds like the best business strategy for any business. Just focus on the next customer, the next person.
Yeah.
Right? So now that you've kind of, I guess, found your secret recipe.
Oh, I get more coffee?
Yeah. What is your, I guess, marketing plan moving forward? Now that you found what works for you, a little bit more?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, she gets the rest
We
of
had
it.
a bunch this morning. Yes, please give it to her.
So what is...
Please.
Thank you.
I know she needs it.
I do.
We have
All the-
hired somebody actually for that.
Yeah.
For coffee?
No.
You have a
For
coffee
coffee.
bitch?
We have a
No, but
coffee
we will
bitch.
make you ours because it seems like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Fancy French press over here.
The French press is life, first of all.
It is
Best
so
$15
good.
you can spend
I
on
know, it really is.
I know.
Amazon or any store.
I broke my
really.
French press, but don't. It's fine. I'll be okay.
Do you need a hug?
Always. Everyone needs a hug all the time. Are you kidding me? Yes.
The French press broken hug. Oh my God.
I'm such a hugger, almost inappropriately. Actually, totally inappropriately. I hug people that I don't know, and then they freak out and they back away, and I'm like, I just hug them stronger, and they're like, get off me,
I
crazy
do
human.
too. I'm like, I've never met, but we're hugging. And I've had
Yeah.
people like kind of be like, eh.
They give you the
They
weird
get,
like
the-
tap on the back.
They like
you know?
bring in their elbows, like that's going to stop me
Yeah.
from surrounding their body with my gorilla arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come here.
Because you're a pretty small guy too. So.
Animals,
Yeah.
people.
Super
I
tiny.
don't care. I'm hugging everything. I'm like, I'll chase you down to hug you. Okay.
Right. You will be mine.
Yeah,
You will be in my arms.
And if I've had wine, you're really in trouble.
The wine hugs are the best hugs.
Yep. Okay, what'd you say? Marketing. Okay, so we brought on this amazing human being that just sort of crashed into our life, Anthony Rini, out of New York. And he's sort of came on as a salesperson, and then it just with venture like changing so rapidly and us becoming a health and wellness enterprise, like, and taking on all these like different things that we didn't anticipate we were going to be doing, corporate wellness packages and this, that, whatever, retreats, and still running our classes, it just became huge, and we were like,
Up to designing a whole new website that we
Yeah.
weren't expecting to have to deal
To
with
do.
that either. But yeah, he's been amazing.
yeah,
say
he
the
has
least.
just come in and really been like a go-to, and I was not expecting him to be our marketing. I thought he was going to do sales and go and walk
Nice.
into like corporations and be like,
Hey guys,
hey,
here's our
I'm
package.
selling all these things, and that's not at all what it's turned into. Mostly he's just been helping me with all the things that I don't understand. He's like, are we doing affiliate marketing? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, and he's like, well, our website, SEO. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, I'm like the absolute worst when it comes to like, I have the idea and I know how to execute the idea, but I don't know anything else around that or how to make that like a public thing, other than I know that Facebook Live exists and I know that Instagram does stories, and that's about it. And I created like a MailChimp. Everything that I've done has been something that I just like Googled, like how to MailChimp. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
how
so
to
funny.
Instagram Live. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to do it.
I can definitely say that I'm very much the same way. And then about 6 months or so ago, I've known Dominic for a couple years, but we finally merged. And he's like, you've been fucking up all of this shit.
Look at his face. He's like, it's true, it's true.
Oh my God, you're his Anthony.
He is 100% my Anthony.
That's awesome.
And
Jesus, Anthony
Yeah.
looks at me all the time. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know.
I'm just being me.
I just want to love everyone. How can you help me do that?
Give me a
And
hug.
then he
Give me a
just
hug.
stares at me. He's just like, do better.
Do better.
The do better stare. I think we know
Yep.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, I love that. So, from what I'm getting, you're basically at a point where you've established yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've earned your reputation. You have proven results.
We do.
So now anybody asks, you're like, yeah, we did this, we did this, we did that.
Yeah.
And so now it's just turning it into a real business that
Yeah.
has standard operating procedures and paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
And
All of that's
keeping everything
happened.
tracked and organized and
Yeah.
lead generation and
I remember
outgoing
when we
and
wrote our
incoming.
first legal contract together.
Yeah. We've got it,
Pretty
the thing is,
amazing.
it's really interesting because we have in place, all of our policies and procedures, and and all of our insurance, which is through the roof, by
And
the
we
way.
have employees.
And
like,
we have contractors. We have about 22 contractors. And so it's like, we've had to learn really quickly, like, holy crap, we're not just doing squats in the park,
That's my favorite thing.
we're actually like,
Kettlebells in the sand.
Yeah.
Bring your own kettlebells.
yeah, we're actually, we know what we're doing. And I think at this point now, after 8 years of really, all the ways you can fuck up, we have. So
I feel like that's a necessary thing. Like, you have to find every way to fuck up
yeah,
at some point.
I think we found them all.
we found them all.
I don't know if there's a
knock on
lot
wood, I'm
left,
sure there's
but-
more,
Tell
but
you what,
whatever.
I'd much rather find ways to fuck up when I'm only worth a couple grand than later
Yeah.
on fucking up
Right.
when I'm worth a
Lose
lot more.
everything.
Yeah, it took a long time to build up to where we are today, and I fell on my face a lot.
Also, lots of tears in that. But we
Lot,
called
yeah.
it failing forward.
Yeah.
You say
I-
tears, I say White Claw.
Also that, White Claw, wine, Jameson,
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
whiskey, not my dog.
Yep,
But yeah,
exactly.
I think it's really, 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 really important to not be afraid to fail. Like, you have to fail. If you don't fail, you don't know anything until you fail.
It's
And I mean fail, crash hard, burn, lose a lot of money. Like,
I would say
we've
yeah.
done it.
I would say running a business, growing a business, starting a business is like closing your eyes and running head first forward as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And because if you're not getting something done every day, somebody in your local area is beating you to those sales, to your competition. Because at that point, you're playing in the local market. You only have the local market, so it's someone else is beating you to your competition. So you gotta go. And what happens when you run with your eyes closed? You run into shit.
Yep.
Constantly.
Because every day is like, oh, this is happening. It's like, I got to do this and this. And then the next day that leads to other shit. Like, you have no idea where it's going. You have no idea whether it's ups or downs. Like, it's just going forward.
Yeah.
That's,
I'll say this. since Venture was born, I did a lot of like running with my eyes closed, and I did a lot of chasing after what I thought was the right thing, and adjusting prices and adjusting our value and adjusting what I thought we were worth, and spending all the wrong money on all the wrong things, and trusting in the wrong people, and really more than anything chasing. I was hungry, and so I chased and chased and chased and chased, and I ended up chasing a lot of the wrong things. And what has happened in the past like 4 or 5 months is a huge shift, and I stopped chasing, and I just started pouring my heart into the things that I believed in more than anything else, and all of a sudden everything just opened up.
You started practicing abundance theory.
Yeah.
Correct.
For your business.
Yes, and it's worked wonderfully. Really, every single thing that's happening to Venture right now, I don't want to say happening to, but everything that we are doing is coming to us. We have
You're
not
experiencing.
Yeah, we have not chased anything. I have not chased anything. It has all been all these phenomenal, amazing people, yourself included, who have just come to us and said, hey, we kind of heard about what you've done or what you're about to do, and we want to be involved. And we're talking, people I never expected. We have authors coming in from left field. We've got doctors. We've got, clinical therapists. We have, the Christy Salazars. We've got
Directors of massive resorts.
Yeah.
Asking for our programs
awesome.
to come to
Yeah.
their
It's
Well,
facilities.
if it's in the Caribbean, I can be an instructor.
We'll keep you in mind.
Yeah.
So send me your resume.
Yeah,
I'll
send your resume over.
I'll do uncertified broga and sports stretching.
I do
sessions.
love Broga. I wish Broga took off. We
I
really
could-
tried.
I could probably lead a class.
That'd be fine. You're hired.
Reinforce that seam.
Yeah. Reinforce your pants seam. It's important.
Yeah, so this is a fun story. So the first time that I met Laurel was at one of the early Venture Active classes
that's
at
so
the
good.
upstairs in the PB local. They're doing a yoga session. And I was wearing some wonderful Pi yoga pants that my friend makes out of Thailand. They're a
Those
little,
are great. I have some. They're
They're
amazing.
super comfy.
Two
I've
thumbs
never
up for
actually
Pi
done
yoga.
yoga in them yet. But, so they're a little snug on my legs, whatever. And so we're doing the one where, like the frog stance kind of.
Imolasana.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called, so just fill them in as we go,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gone to
Frog-
a
frog is
200-hour
perfect.
yoga class.
Yeah.
I'm
Still
sorry.
don't know about that, so it's fine.
But, so doing that, I just split my pants front to back. And I had on
It was great.
I had very short boxers on. And so, I don't know if you know yoga very well, but things don't stay in place very well. So I was like, I'm gonna move to the back of the class where people can't really see all my goodies.
It was so funny. It was amazing.
You're just sharing.
Yeah,
That
sharing's caring. So
Okay.
that was our
My first impression
our
of
first
Greg,
impression.
yeah.
We've been friends ever
Yeah,
since.
absolutely.
It was pretty interesting.
She gets to use me as an example for the rest of forever in her yoga
I
classes.
can't say that has ever happened before or since. So yeah, you are the example of it splitting
your pants.
your entire crotch during class.
It wasn't just like a little rip. It was like,
The
front to
entire
back,
end
Yeah.
team was
like-
gone.
I guess rugby
I
butt
appreciated
rugby
it.
butt and frog stance and tight yoga pants don't
Yep.
go together.
I love it.
But rugby butts do go great in yoga, so just keep them coming.
I feel like they're meant to be everywhere in the world.
Rugby
I totally
butts?
agree.
Yeah.
We like
They
them.
should
I
be like
do.
evenly spaced,
I 100% agree.
but only for you.
Only for me.
I don't care for much. I spent my head in between too many of them. Too much time with my head in
I
between
mean,
too many of them. Just
I'm just gonna be quiet.
scrums are fun.
I've
Scrums
never
are
mind.
fun.
They're not for anybody that's done one.
I've looked at
I would like
scrums,
to
I
watch
haven't
them
been
on
in a
They're
scrum.
horrible and exhausting, and there's man ass on your face.
Sounds like an old Saturday night for me. Back in the day. I'm just kidding, Mom.
Mom.
For everybody else, she's not.
Actually, my mom knows me better than anybody. My mom would be like, she's out of control. 20 years ago, my mom would have just been like, oh, Lord, shut her up, turn it off. She's going to embarrass us. Whatever.
That's funny.
So good.
Yeah.
So going back
yeah.
a minute before
All
pants
the-
splitting story.
Yeah.
So I fully believe or understand what you're talking about. Kind of stop chasing, and just start working the process of doing what you care about every day.
Yeah.
So don't chase the paychecks, don't chase the clients. Just focus on what your skill is and what you're bringing to the table, right?
100%.
And then people just start
Don't chase
seeing
the
it.
money. It's
And
not about,
just,
yeah.
Yeah,
Don't chase
just
the money.
share your story along the way. That's why social media is so powerful if you're using it right. Is if you're not doing, because it's very easy to be salesy on it. And be like, hey, go check out my shit.
Yeah.
And I think every once in a while, everyone should do that. Just kind of remind people, be like, we're an actual business, give us money. But like 90% of the time, you should just be sharing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you're not trying to get anything out of it. You're not trying to convince people of anything. You're just saying, like, this is what we're doing, and if people follow you, then they like what you're doing. And
Yeah.
then it's just, like you said earlier, one more at a time, right?
Yeah. It's just, I think it took a long time for me to figure that out. It took a really, really long time. Like I said, a lot of fail forward, fall on my face sort of things, and like a lot of conversations about what am I doing, and a lot of sleepless nights, like just laying awake. And not to say I don't still stay awake. I'm always working, but now it's a different type of feeling for me working. But like when you chase and chase and chase something, you have blinders on, and you're not seeing that like there's all these other opportunities out there because you have tunnel vision. And so when you get tunnel vision, like nothing else is visible to you.
Yeah.
And you're not
like if you
open to it.
Like working with the mental health care clinic, I really think that was like the turning
It's a game changer.
in your
sure.
in your business. But if you were just solely focused on selling the $15 monthly memberships, you would have never taken the opportunity for it, and you would still be trying to sell $15 monthly memberships. Like, like we got to get our membership numbers up. Like, and that's your only goal.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that that's not still relevant for venture. Our members, because they've been so supportive over the years, and the people that have stuck with us that understand, like they get it, and they've been amazing, and they're all family. But that being said, we're turning in this new direction, and we're super open to it, and we're very excited about it, and not chasing the monetary things has just really. It's really changed everything for us, understanding that like if you just put your heart into it and you work and you don't push it on people and set it out into the universe, it's going to come back to you.
Yeah, if you're setting up your business so that it's actually helpful or beneficial to other people, and then you just focus on being as helpful and beneficial to other people as you can, that's good business. Like, the money comes because people, when they see it and they see that it's actually helped other people like that, they're going to be like, oh, I get it. Like, maybe that'll have the same effects for me.
Yeah.
Like, no one started drinking coffee because it tasted good.
Right.
They saw it because it made other people not fall asleep. Like,
and we're very open about talking about whatever it is we're up to, and our all of our people are super open too. So it's like we're a very open, loving, accepting place for people to come to. So even if they're going through something and they're looking for an outlet, I think at this point people know that they can come to us, and it's a judgment-free zone, and there's so many other people that are there too that are either been with us or just starting with us that understand that this is a safe place. And because I think we're genuine in what we do, that's why we've had the success that we've had, I have a lot of people that have asked me too, like, are you making money? How much money are you making?
Are you profitable?
Are you profitable?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah, and for those who want to know, yes, we're profitable. But does that drive us? No.
Do we pay ourselves?
Right?
No. We don't.
No,
we pay our contractors.
We pay our contractors.
And everything that we make goes back into our business.
Yeah, we
so
reinvest.
That we can continue moving forward.
Because it's not just about Laurel and I, it's about everyone. And so we wanted to create a space where our contractors can make a living having one job in San Diego, not 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Which we all know very well, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to make it as a contractor these days in any industry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, finding your own work, managing your clients, actually doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really do have to be either hustling all day
You
every
hustle,
day
yeah.
or have multiple little jobs going on.
Yeah.
Both.
And that's why
She and I both
yeah.
still bartend.
Yeah.
For a living,
Yeah,
you know.
I still bartend as
In
well.
quotes.
I
By the
love
way,
bartending.
I'm
Yeah.
Go Thrusters.
I've been in CNT for 5 years, but it looks like I'm going to be in Bay Park soon, maybe.
Ooh, where?
Yay.
Cordova.
Oh, where's that?
That's
It's right
awesome.
across the street from Sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like a 1950s Miami theme in there, kind of. Like,
Cordova's cool.
really cool little bar.
Congratulations.
We'll come
Yeah.
and say hi.
Yeah, that's exactly why they want to move me out there, because I'm actually closer to people. In 5 years, I've had like 2 people ever come out to CNT to see
Yeah.
me.
Well, that's far, and
Yeah, I know,
people don't
right?
leave the bubble.
I'm
you
like,
know?
yeah, can you drive 15 miles to come drink?
To have drinks.
And then
yeah,
do
and
Where I'm
yeah.
going to get you shit-faced,
Drive
and
back
then you're going to have
and
to
drive
figure
home.
out,
Right.
yeah, that was never a thing. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
That's awesome.
Be
Let
more
us
in my
know
community
for sure.
again.
That's awesome. I mean, I think too. You know, it's interesting. I was actually talking to speaking of, like juggling jobs. I was talking to Errol.
Ooh, I love Errol.
I know, right? Who doesn't love
I
Errol?
need to get him
God,
on the
Errol's
show
awesome.
here.
Errol's amazing.
Yeah.
We actually are partnered kind of with Errol now too. We do Strength in the City. There's just so much. There's so much going on. We actually have something coming up this weekend with Strength in the City. We're doing a big hike, hike to Zen.
What is Strength in the City?
So essentially, it's an organization that kind of got people in the fitness realm, health and wellness realm, connected.
Okay.
And from what I understood originally, I thought it was just like one day, and they did like one big festival day, and like all these different vendors came. But Amanda, who we also work with, she runs the actual all of Strength in the City. She is now bringing it to monthly events. So like Fit, what is it? Fit 49. I'm gonna say it wrong.
Fit 49.
Not Fit 49. F45. That's
Ah,
what it is.
the
I don't know,
gym.
Fit,
Yes,
just
yes.
squishing everything
F45
together.
training.
They just did an event, and so they're going to be part of the big culmination at the end of the year with all the different vendors. But ours is coming up now this weekend, and then I think we're going to do another one in a couple months. But basically, it's just like it's really cool because they attach whatever the event is. Whoever puts on the event can attach all the proceeds to go to a charity. So really, it's kind of like, okay, all the people who hike and rock climb meet all the people from, you know, F45 who are, you know, personal trainers, or like people who are doing, like when we do our paddleboard program, they're going
It's
to
like
meet
industry
yogis.
crossover
So it's
events.
everything crossover.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's great. And so I think it's like more of a
I don't think
community
there's a
where
lot
people
of
can,
stuff like out there
No.
for.
and you know, Errol's a big component of like, you know, everybody cooperate together,
The
which
San
is,
Diego scene, yeah, because he's
Yeah.
tied in with everything.
yeah,
He
yeah.
is
Yeah.
absolutely everywhere.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy, and Errol and I have had kind of the same mind frame for a long time, that like, you know, cooperation, you know, not competitive. It's going to build a better community, and so when we're all sort of working together, then we can all share a piece of the pie instead of, you know, everybody fighing over that pie. Everybody, there's enough for everybody to have a little slice. So anyway, that's kind of what we're doing this weekend, and all of the benefits are going to the Big Josh Foundation. We're going to do a big hike, which is what we were doing this morning, was like testing the route, which is why I'm still dressed like this. And
You mean you don't dress in hiking clothes every day?
I pretty much do, though. Yeah. Basically, I'm like always dressed like I'm ready for the zombie apocalypse. Like anything could happen, you know? I'm
I
like,
mean, it makes sense because let's say the zombie apocalypse doesn't happen, then you're just wearing comfortable, sweat-wicking, antimicrobial clothes all the time with vents.
right.
And then if it does happen, you're 45 seconds ahead of everybody else.
Exactly. I don't have to be the fastest. I just have to be faster than the slowest
Exactly.
in order to not get eaten
'Cause
in the
you know
zombie
what?
apocalypse.
That first night out in the wilderness hiding from zombies is going to get real cold.
I'm going to be really good at that. I am like way prepared.
And
It's
whoever
fine.
wore their cotton clothes out and it was a little humid, they're going to die of frostbite. But no, not you.
No,
You're going
no.
to be dry and slightly not cold.
I'll be in like my Overlander vehicle. I'll be good to go. I'm fine. Come find me if there's a zombie apocalypse. I have it on lock. I got it ready to go. Health and wellness and zombie apocalypse survivor. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. I've got too many windows in this house. I would die immediately.
I've already
They would
planned it
just
all
come
out.
from
My house,
all-
it's pretty ridiculous. You don't want to know.
I would just have to go through the ceiling.
You would have to, actually. Yeah, you'd
Skylight
be
Yeah.
totally screwed. You couldn't even go through the canyon in the back. I've surveyed your house already, and I've been here like 10 minutes. How to escape. That's
Oh, the
terrible.
canyon would be great because it's full of all those really wicked like vines all over the ground. The zombies get all tangled up in those. I
Maybe,
could probably
maybe
go in the
not.
middle. They'd
I don't
never
know.
be able to get through.
I don't even know where I was going with my Errol. I brought Errol up for a reason, because he said something to me, and I can't remember what it was now. Oops. Zombie apocalypse, that'll get you. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
man.
shout out to Errol anyway.
Right. So tell the people where to find you. It's your social media, website, any of the good stuff.
Yeah. We are in the middle of transferring everything over from ventureactive.net. We are now vahealing.com.
Okay.
vahealing.com. The ventureactive.net website is about to be discontinued. So we'll be moving our classes and events over to VA Healing, but also I kind of think that showcases really what we're doing now.
Yeah.
The corporate wellness and recreational therapy programs, and then the retreats, and then also our horseback riding adventures too.
Yeah.
Woohoo! You should come to a
Horseback riding? I haven't ridden a horse in so long. That sounds like fun.
Oh,
Yeah, we're working with Rock Creek Pack Station in the Sierras, and we do 4 to 6 day adventures on horseback. That's pretty
Okay.
awesome.
it
So,
is really, really amazing.
yeah, it is. If you want to go sleep in the dirt and ride
Yes.
horses all day and go fishing in the middle of
Yes.
nowhere, it's pretty
Yes.
rad. Yeah.
Are we going to be on rivers?
Yeah.
Streams?
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah.
I got my fly rod. Let's go.
Yeah, we've got one coming up in June 26th. It's on the website, I think. Yeah, it
I'll
is.
be there.
So yeah, vahealing.com, and we're only going to really run a couple of rec programs for corporations. So we're really kind of limiting it. So anybody that kind of wants to jump in now would be a good idea, because we're going to be really focusing a lot on these retreats. So we're only going to do probably only 4, at the most, I'd say, corporate accounts, because we want to
Okay.
keep everybody moving around. But yeah.
And then do you have an
You have a
Instagram,
drop
Facebook?
Insta.
We
the
do. We have the
Facebook.
Insta and the Facebook, and that's Venture Active. They're both Venture Active.
Health and wellness on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. And then, but the problem is I've been running everything out of my Facebook for so long that I forget to post from Venture. But
You
thank God we
know,
have
now you
Anthony.
can just, when you post yours, if you're logged in the other one, you can
Do-
just press
do.
the button. And do it
Okay,
upside
well,
down.
Anthony took away my privileges for posting on our Instagram or our Facebook anymore, and I understand why.
Too many spelling errors.
Oh, always. Oh my God. I don't. Oh my God.
Sounds like me.
Oh, I am the worst.
I'm constantly texting her like, Ciara, what
What does that even mean?
That doesn't make any sense.
Sounds
Why
like-
did you post that? Edit, fix this.
I never read what I post. I literally write it, and I'm usually super distracted because I'm always distracted, and so I constantly am come visit us at blah 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 post, and then I walk away, and then I get 12 texts. You spelled the and your own name, the place,
Seriously, her own name. all the
everything
time.
spelled wrong, and I go back to it, I'm like shit, and then I have to then I have to edit it, and then I miss 2 or 3
It's so
misspellings
good.
every single time, and so then it's edit, go back, edit again, and I'm like, this is so annoying. I just get
good.
so frustrated with it, I just want to throw it out the window.
And you still built a business with
I
spelling
know,
errors.
who-
Don't let the small shit stop you. Just do it anyways.
My mom is still mad at me about my spelling issues. She was just always, and I was I was a 4.0 student. It's not like I don't know how to spell. I just don't. I just don't pay attention. And autocorrect goes, and I'm like, sure, whatever. I don't have time for spelling. I'll get it out there. It's fine. It's all about what you do. You just
Yeah, it's the intentions behind your action, right?
yeah, I remember my mom making fun of me when I was a kid because I couldn't spell sugar, and I was like, that's a stupid word, first of all. Who doesn't put an H in sugar? I was 9 years old, what? Still spelling it wrong, probably. Who knows? I don't care.
Well,
Yeah.
that's actually a pretty good argument.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something, but I'm like, no, you're right.
It doesn't
No,
even
it
make
should have
sense.
an-
It should. Everything should just be spelled phonetically, and then I wouldn't have a problem. Or autocorrect on my phone. First of all, ducking. We all
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Never ever have I meant that.
I mean, the last time I had to duck was dodgeball.
We
And
should play dodgeball. I
we
love
should definitely play
dodgeball.
dodgeball.
We should have a dodgeball
We should have a
tournament.
BJF dodgeball tournament.
One of our
We should.
contractors asked us to sponsor a dodgeball team. Miss
I have a
Lisa.
whole, like, I'm terrible. I will cheat at dodgeball like nobody's business.
The last time I played dodgeball was in
Yeah.
college, and we had those stupid little foam
Ciara.
balls, but I winged one so hard and hit a dude in the side of the face that I broke his glasses in half.
Oh,
And it never has the bully inside of me
Oh my god.
been so proud, but it's like I felt bad, but at the same time I laughed because it's so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my god, I actually broke a kid's glasses off of his face
Don't
with a
go to
dodgeball.
Sky Zone. Tell you that much. I went there, got in
trampoline
trouble.
dodgeball.
Play a bunch of 13-year-olds, and all of a sudden the bully comes out, and and I had to
Yeah.
I had to recuse.
You're like, you're next.
It was terrible. Yeah, I had to like step outside of the ring. I was like, these little
I need
kids.
to put myself in the corner real quick.
Yeah,
and do
go
some
put
breathing
myself on a
exercises.
timeout and do some breath
I'm
work.
about to ruin all of you little assholes.
And also, I cheat at dodgeball again, like I said. So don't play dodgeball with me.
Just don't cross the line.
I have a strategy.
All right.
Basically, it's stay in the corner until no one notices, and then come out and then just nail the last person, and then I win. I shouldn't play dodgeball.
That's like the least fun strategy.
Oh, at least we got 2 pucks. We do know how to
Lost
party.
track of time there.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh yeah. That was a
I don't
fun
know what I
podcast.
talked about. I have no idea.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
This
for
coffee's
having
amazing.
us.
Do we even have people watching?
That's great.
Look, Laurel.
Thank you, Greg.
Look at that.